For nearly a decade, I've heard all sorts of price targets never realized before for gold and silver. $5,000 gold, $10,000 gold, $50,000 gold, $100 silver. So why haven't we hit those yet, and are stackers to blame? Hey everyone, welcome to Campbell's Coins. Are stackers our own worst enemy when it comes to price with precious metals? I think so, and here's why. Manipulation happens on multiple fronts in this industry. You have market manipulation, big banks spoofing the numbers up and down. You have another form of manipulation from the quote-unquote experts here on YouTube and other media platforms driving up fear and a scarcity mindset. And then one of my absolute favorite things to see on here are the videos talking about how the US Mint has run out of gold and silver. Panic, right? Never mind that the gold the US Mint ran out of is the stock for the current year Eagle or Buffalo release. And they only ran out of stock because they stopped production entirely to start production of the next year's Eagles or Buffaloes. Isn't it just a miracle that the US Mint somehow manages to release more gold and silver in January of the new year? If my sarcasm hasn't been evident, I'm sorry I wasn't laying it on thick enough. I think this goes beyond basic supply and demand, and here's why. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people saying in the comments of my videos here on Instagram, YouTube, and in emails, as soon as silver hits $50, I'm selling. I know a lot of people sitting on $49 silver Eagles because they bought at the top of the market in 2011. This act of selling will just flood the market with silver and the price will drop. And the cycle repeats itself. It's no different with gold. I've seen videos from Kitco and others talking about gold price targets of $3,000, $5,000, etc., etc. But I know many people who aren't buying gold right now at $1,900 because they feel the price is too high. Mix in a detailed market history where folks can reference past prices, most importantly, all-time highs, and you have a recipe for disaster. It's like a trap full of crabs. The top of the bucket is open, but the crabs keep pulling one another back down into the trap. How can gold and silver price go up, or anywhere, when stackers are selling as soon as it hits their price target? Investors look at these price charts and sell GLD and SLV when price targets are met. I went to the World Gold Council's website and I pulled this data. It says of the 205,000 tons of above ground gold in existence worldwide, nearly half of this is in the form of jewelry. 22% is in the form of coins and bars, and this includes gold-backed ETFs, and it's estimated the central banks hold 17% of this entire total. I found some other numbers showing ETFs are roughly 10% of the gold total, which means bullion and collectible coin holders of physical gold are about 12%. These totals show how a sector can influence the gold market. Gold and silver prices tend to go above previous all-time highs when nearly no one in any of these sectors are selling and new demand comes in. We saw this from 2008 to 2011, in 2020, and again in early 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine. A couple of years ago, one of my first videos to really take off discussed a hypothetical way confiscation could occur. In it, I hypothesized a way the government could get you to turn in all of your gold of your own free will, effectively becoming a consensual confiscation. My hypothetical plays out with the government offering an absurd dollar amount for an ounce of gold. And before I did this video, I polled my Instagram followers and I asked who is selling their gold at $5,000 an ounce, who is selling at $10,000 an ounce, who is selling at $15,000 an ounce. At the $10,000 and $15,000 level, over 75% of voters said that they would sell their gold. The government is re-evaluating gold to levels we have never seen before and offering you worthless currency. Most of my followers are not just regular people. These are hardcore stackers, and they are willing to accept this worthless paper. This is why I feel stackers are to blame for the lackluster success of these metals. The moment precious metals are doing well, stackers bail out for fiat currency, and prices aren't even close to these levels. We see this happening today. In early February 2022, and this is just a notable example in my mind, I saw a number of YouTubers selling off their gold once gold surpassed the $1,900 level. People thought that the prices would crater and they wanted to cash in on the recent rise. This was when it was just surpassing 1900 and a lot of people bailed. Kind of seeing the same thing happening right now. After I posted this hypothetical video, many people responded saying that they would only sell their gold at these levels to get currency and put it into other investments like land. It's a great idea investing into other things, but given the government's wild spending on so many things over the last, 100 years, eventually that dollar that you're getting won't be worth much to anyone. Sooner, rather than later, the music will stop and there won't be any chairs to sit down on. If we really wanted to affect prices, we would hold the same mentality that worked briefly with the cryptocurrency holders. I think it was diamond hands. It's amazing how those crypto diamond hands shattered like glass when offered fiat currency. When investors hold 22% of gold and jewelry is another 50% of this market, and all these folks only see dollar signs in their eyes when the spot price goes up, it's easy to see how much of this market is controlled by gold owners. Your time is your most precious asset, and I appreciate you spending it here with me. Thank you all for watching. This is Campbell's Coins, and that is my 2 cents.